Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious, and that life is treating you oh so deliciously wherever you are in the world. So what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. Margie's little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright, yes. So it's just gone 10 to 1 in our old England today, my little beautifuls. Okay, we do have some blue sky today, and it's dry, but it's rather chilly, and the sun's out. So the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. Okay, my delicious little babies, that's the weather forecast in our old England, and I hope that it is warmer wherever you are in the world, my little beautifuls, okay? Now then, right, okay, so I've just got today, and we must remember, mustn't we, because I'm not going to keep quiet about it, we must remember that we've, we hit the 5-year, didn't we? Since the old pandemic, my delicious little babies, do you see what I mean, okay? I'm really pleased, actually, because there are many, 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 many uploaders, bless their dear little souls, okay, who also make sure that we always remember what has been done to us in the world, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay, we must never forget, ever. Okay, it was wicked, it was putrid, and of course, it was a ka-ching, ching, ching grab. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Okay, that doesn't mean no. Anyway, I'll tell you what I had for my brekkie this morning, my delicious little babies. So first of all, I had an apple. Okay, so I cut up an apple. Of course, washed it first. Then I had a banana, my delicious little babies. Then I had my beautiful Greek yogurt, and I had a little drizzle of honey, my delicious little babies. So that was absolutely delish. Then I decided to make myself just salt and pepper omelette, my delicious little babies. Okay, so very delish. Okay, I would say there we are myself that it is there we are very healthy, actually, my delicious little babies, okay? And of course, I use, what's it called? Olive oil, okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, so that's that. Now then, my delicious little babies, so, okay, let's go with this now, okay? So this one here, I've got an itch, a surprise, my delicious little babies. So the first one, my delicious little babies, it's just over, 7 minutes, I think, and 48 seconds, my delicious little babies. This is on a BitChute, my delicious little babies. Now, I do advertise them from time to time, and with anybody not in that way. They now have 9,784 subscribers, my delicious little babies. I'm really pleased, actually, because the numbers have really been going up, my delicious little babies, so I'm super duper pleased about that. Anyway, so search engine of your choice, my delicious little babies. Should anybody have any form of an interest with any of the videos that I'm advertising today, understanding, it's all in capitals, my delicious little babies, understanding space, the space Lars. Okay, my delicious little babies, then space bar, BitChute, and then you should have reached your destination, okay? The video should read, my little lovelies, smart cities and 15-minute cities. It's not about saving the planet. It's about imprisoning us. Okay, my delicious little baby. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. Shall I? That doesn't mean no. Just got an itch. Smart cities and 15-minute cities. It's not about saving the planet. It's about imprisoning us. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, who's speaking here? Oh, bless her. And of course, like I say, not in that way. Our lovely Sandy Adams. Okay, now sometimes she'll go on our lovely UK column, my delicious little babies, okay? And she's talking to another woman there now then. Anyway, well, the fact of the matter is, I mean, we talked about Sandy a long time, okay? And she does her research, do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And well, basically, the fact of the matter is, I've been talking about this as well. Others been talking about it. Okay, our lovely, like I keep saying with anybody not in that way, not in that way. Sorry, our lovely redacted, because they talked a lot about it as well. My delicious little babies to do with all this crap now. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious little babies? Okay, but I would really suggest that ones, please and thank you, please take a listen to this shorty video, my delicious little babies, okay? Because I've been saying this, I've been telling others anyway, but you see, the problem that I have, my delicious little babies, okay, that I genuinely just do not feel that whoever I tell that they have any form of an interest at all, they're just not interested in what I say, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. And of course, for others, they think I'm a sandwich short of a picnic, my delicious little babies. Well, I'm certainly not that. You see what I mean, okay? And I have spoken to others, where they have actually thought, that this is a super duper excellent idea. Well, actually, my delicious little babies, it's nothing of the kind. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And it's all in the wording. It's very clear what these putrid, want to do to all of us. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay? And of course, should they be allowed to get away with it in the world, my delicious little babies? Well, let me tell you, for those of you out there, okay, who like their freedoms, they say that we're free, they say we're free. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Well, for those who do enjoy their freedoms, well, let me tell you, this certainly will not be freedom. I can well assure you of that, my delicious little babies, okay? So everywhere you go is within, there we are, a 15-minute distance, okay, my delicious little babies? So that means shops, I don't know, bank, hairdressers, anywhere, all within 15 minutes, my delicious little babies, okay? And they're wanting this for everybody, there we are, in the world, my delicious little babies, okay? This is extremely, and I keep banging on and talking about it, and I will continue to on my videos. This is extremely important, my delicious little babies, okay? Because ones must remember, they're after everything. Do you understand what I mean? They do not want you to be driving. They do not want you to be flying to go on holidays. No. This is not what they are wanting. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? So how can this be so that so many in the world, my delicious little babies, okay, very sadly seem to be, there we are, sat back and watching this happen, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I mean, okay? As far as I'm concerned, no. If ones knew the extent, my delicious little babies, of what is going on here, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't be so flipping damn well laid back now then. Do you know what I mean? And of course, you've got families out there, and what they're trying to do is, to get the bread and butter on the table. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I mean? So they've been worked to oblivion. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But more, and I will continue to say this, and I do not feel that I'm being rude at all. They need to start, there we are, to do their damn research. Do you say? Okay? But of course, anyway. I say to others, but do you understand what I mean? Yes, okay? And that doesn't mean no. How many listen? Well, very little, to tell you the truth, my delicious little babies, okay? But one day, there we are, they'll look back at my videos, or they'll look back at my conversations and, giving information out on my videos, you know what I mean? And then not being nasty now, there we are. They'll wish that they flipping damn well listened. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean, okay? But no, I mean, at the end of the day, this should be stopped in its tracks. And everybody, with their putrid governments should say, no, we're not having any of this. Okay, my delicious little babies, it's damn well disgusting what they're wanting to do to us. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, my delicious little babies, yeah. So, yeah, and I was listening to our lovely iconic this morning, my delicious little babies. They're on BitChute and they're also on our lovely davidark.com. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, they've now gone up to, 1,202 subscribers, my delicious little babies. You know what I say? Fandabidozy. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now what it is, they're leaving their because what they did, that doesn't mean no, they did a bar crowd. Because her beautiful dear little sister Kerry, bless, it would have been, her birthday, I do believe her 50th birthday. Anyway, so they did, bless them. I did wish her happy birthday, bless her. I may not have known her, but, she looked like a beautiful dear little soul. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And of course, dear little Kerry's, dear Gareth and dear Jamie's, sister, bless. Yes, okay. So they did this bar crowd, from where they live, quite a long distance. The Isle of, is it the Isle of Wight? Okay, my delicious little babies can. And they raised, what was it, over 11,000 ka-ching squids, my delicious little babies can, which is a wonderful figure. But should anybody please wish to continue to donate, and I'm going to explain the reason why, okay? And it is open until Easter, okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Because what they're going to do, anybody who very sadly has been harmed by something severely, my delicious little babies, okay? With dear Gareth and dear Jamie, they are not, and I'll repeat this, not going to be handing over the ka-ching to any charity. What they're going to do, they're going to, give out some ka-ching, to ones who really need, so it could be like what they said on their videos. So it could be like a stair lift if somebody needs that, okay? And what I'm talking about is that, for these dear little souls who can no longer work because of something that was taken very sadly, my delicious little babies, okay? But yes, so please, anybody who listens to my video today, do you know what I mean? If you could quite possibly just donate, but you can find them on our lovely BitChute, okay? Iconic, and then space bar BitChute. Then you reach your destination, yes. I mean, what a wonderful thing to do. To do a bar crowd, because they're not one, you know what I mean, riding around in barks all the time. Do you understand what I mean? My delicious little babies, okay? So, I mean, that was really a wonderful thing to do, you know what I mean? And in the memory of their beautiful dear little sister. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay? So please, I'm hoping that more can be donated because it can go to help, dear little souls who have been injured by something, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. But I just thought that was music to my ears, that it's not going through these charities. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But if we can raise more, there we are, then more dear little souls, out there we are, can be helped. And I see this as a marvellous, there we are, and wonderful thing. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? Because as we very know with the charities, we all know with the charities, don't we, my delicious little babies, that a lot of the ka-ching does not exactly go to where it's supposed to go, my delicious little babies. So please, if you can, please, or say to others, please, to listen to the video because it's towards the end and, where to donate to, you know, it would be so very much appreciated, and they would be so very much thankful, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, and I also are doing organic coffee, so I'm going to keep repeating this, my delicious little babies, okay? So that's that then, okay? So that's that's my part done. I don't get paid for any of this. I do it as a hobby, okay, my delicious little babies. But for myself, you know, I mean, I just, for myself, I just really enjoy listening to our lovely David Icke and his lovely dear little sons, Gareth and Jeremy, and their lovely dear little friend, Richard. I just find them so interesting. Do you know what I mean? Okay, they got, there we are, a world of knowledge. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. With myself, I just do not like to listen to crap, basically, my delicious little baby's got no interest, zero interest. Do you see what I mean? Okay, I only listen to certain uploaders, you know, unless I'm giving a one-off, you know, that comes up on my feed or something. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. But, you know, I have only certain, there we are, who I listen to. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And I'm very pleased, there we are, to do that, my delicious little babies, and to always click on the likes. Do you see what I mean? Got no problem doing that at all, you know, because all of them, the dearer gentlemen who I listen to, there we are, have done well common sense, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's that. So that's the 15-minute cities. Please, I would urge you to please take a listen, and thank you. Now, the next one, my delicious little babies, okay, is, oh, sorry, I thought it, no, it's just two today. Sorry. I thought it was three. Sorry, my delicious little babies, okay. This uploader, I do mention her from time to time, bless her. She has 15.4 thousand subscribers, my delicious little baby. So she still doesn't mean that. She's still on that. So we need to, you know, get the numbers moved up. Okay, the same with our lovely iconic, you know what I mean? We need to get these numbers moved up. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Please and thank you. Now then, search engine of your choice, my delicious little babies. Capital K, Kim, space, capital O, Osbol, okay, my delicious little babies. Hyphen, Copenhagen, capital C, and then space, capital D, Denmark. Okay, my delicious little babies. So Kim, Osbol, Copenhagen, Denmark, my delicious little babies. Okay, the video should read now. Is this nearly? I think it's nearly 20 minutes long. My delicious little babies. Okay, call. This is what it should read. My delicious little babies. Okay, call cannibalism. Okay, my delicious little babies. Then an exclamation mark. I always put two. My delicious little babies. Kentucky fried humans. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? See, I prefer to use the word mankind, but it is typed down as humans. New KLC ad shows gravy sacrifice. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Call cannibalism. 2 exclamation marks, although there's only one on there. Kentucky fried humans. New KLC ad shows gravy sacrifices. Yes, my delicious little babies, okay? You know, it's done showing you. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, something that I want to say, so now I'm going to close my book, okay? Must continue to go backwards, okay? You know, especially when we look at what happened 5 years ago, my delicious little babies, okay? And in between the 5 years. Okay, my delicious little babies. You see, I'm going to repeat this again, okay, for, you know, anybody new who has not listened, you know, to my channel or any of my videos, okay, and you happen to stumble across myself. You see, the thing is, my delicious little babies, okay, you see, I have stopped celebrating Crimbo, you know, the fake Crimbo, for a number of years now, my delicious little babies, okay? I still love to see the lights and things like that, you know, little Christmas trees, Crimbo trees. However, me personally, I do not celebrate it. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And for years now, I have not celebrated Easter either, my delicious little babies, okay? And my reason for doing both of these things now is because there we are. I did there we are research on this. There we are some years back. Okay, so when my beautiful little baby daughters, when they were little now, when they were smaller, yes, you know, you get them Easter eggs, you do this, you do that, you know, crimber, you know, with the tree, you know, then put all the gifts under the tree, you know, and everything like that now then, okay? But as they started to get a bit older, I don't know. You see, with myself, I've never really felt, I don't, it's really hard to explain. I've never really felt comfortable with Crimber, my delicious little babies. It just hasn't sat right with myself. Of course, when I was little, you know, when I was smaller, you know, my dear dad, bless, you know what I mean? He used to go out of his way to make it. I mean, he just loved Crimber. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, okay. So, of course, you know, you would enjoy it then, or, you know, when I used to go to my beautiful, dear little, how I love them so, beautiful, dear little Nana and Grandad, you know, to go and stay in Yorkshire, in Hull, my delicious little babies, okay? Because I used to spend a lot more time in Hull, than I ever did in Brummies, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay, because we used to just, you know, see our Nana, you know, because my beautiful dear little granddad was very sadly taken from us when I was 9 years old. Do you see what I mean? My delicious little babies. So, you know, so I used to see my beautiful dear little Nana, you know, a lot. Okay, my delicious little babies, and I miss her to this day. I miss my beautiful dear little nanny and granddad. I love you so, you know, to this day. I've already said good morning. So, you know, the point is, that's when I used to enjoy Crimber, you know, when I was little. But as I got older, I just never liked it. You know, and like in my teenagers, I just never liked it. Okay, and of course, you know, with the Easter, and then you learn about the truth of birth of these times, my delicious little babies in the year, and it's rather disturbing, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? So that's why I choose not to. But I'd never say to, like, you know, any other mummies and daddies or nanas and granddads or carers or anything, I'd never say to them, oh, you know, well, don't, you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, I wouldn't put my views on others. Do you see what I mean? Like, if anybody ever asks me, you know, Carla, do you celebrate Christmas or Easter? I just say no. I just do not celebrate it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And everybody knows me. They know that I just do not celebrate it. Okay. But this video here, my delicious little babies, okay, this is just one video. If you wanted to research more, you would be able to find a lot more out. You know what I mean? What he does is he just says a little bit, really. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, okay. This explains, you know, to do with, you know, Crimbo, to do with Easter, to do with, do you understand what I mean? Yes, okay. But for myself, no, I do not celebrate it, no. Okay, that's just my choice, my delicious little babies, okay? So it's not that I'm being, you know, a bugbear. Do you understand what I mean? It's just that once you know, you cannot unknow. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Okay, so I just feel for myself, it would be very wrong of myself. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you know, to celebrate any of it. Okay, but when, like I said, but when my beautiful little baby daughters were young, well, you know, it's different then, you know, because they love the Easter, they love this, they love that, you know. Then they have the little Easter competitions, you know, at school. You know, I used to help them do their what is it, when they used to have a little competition, I used to help them do the little chicks, you know, and everything like that. Actually, the one year I made the strangest, because what I was actually doing, I was cheating really, my delicious little babies, okay? Because my little eldest beautiful baby daughter, because both so beautiful, right? She said, I said, come on, I'll help you do this Easter egg, like the little chick, sorry. Yes, okay. Anyway, it was the strangest looking little chick you'd ever seen. But what I was trying to do is make it look like my beautiful little baby daughter had done it all on her own. My delicious little baby. It's okay, so it was the most strangest looking little, that you've ever seen. Okay, I mean, it was the correct colour. It was like yellow and that. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we've done a little beak. We've done everything. Okay, every time she flipping won. My delicious little baby's okay. It was the most strangest little chick you'd ever seen. Do you know what I mean? But she won. Because I was trying to, so I did cheat a bit, my delicious little babies, okay, but, I just wanted her to, do you understand what I'm saying, okay, and I see nothing wrong with that anyway, okay. But yeah, the tutor said, she said, tell you what, she said, that's a really, really lovely, little chick. She said, I've never quite seen anything like that before, my delicious little babies, okay. Yeah, but she won, yeah, bless her. Anyway, so that's that. But I mean, we all know that with our beautiful little babies, they enjoy having their Easter eggs, and for most little bands, you know what I mean, they love to have their Easter eggs, and they love to have time off school, you know what I mean, so they can play out with their friends or be with their family. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so I would never put my views on anybody. It's just I'm not going to say that I celebrate something when I do not. Do you see what I mean? Okay, but like I said, that's my choice. But if you listen to that video, my delicious little babies, okay, what I'm saying to you, you'll get the, in your noddle, bless, exactly what I'm putting across to you, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's the end of my video, my little beautifuls, okay? So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies, okay? Oh, that's what I wanted to just tell you just before I go, okay? Sorry, and sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families all be fully protected. And how I love you also. Yes, if you go on to please and thank you, should anybody have any form of an interest, Maya to see, on YouTube, my delicious little babies. Okay, so it's spelled M for mother, AHYAR. Maya Tusi, TOUSR. He's now up to, 789,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies. Yes, so he's really rising, bless him, okay? And, like the other uploaders say, they put the work, there we are, they put the work in, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean, okay? Anyway, and there's a video to do with this poor dear man called Enoch Burke, my delicious little babies, okay, in Ireland. And what they've done, they've frozen the bank and that, and to do with the government, they've frozen 40 grand of his savings, my delicious little babies, okay? So he's been spending years saving up, and he's saved up ka-ching, 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 40 grand, my delicious little babies, okay? And what this is about is because he refuses to go along with what was he, a teacher, and he refused to, to do with all of this, I don't know, like where bands, bless them, where they can be what they want to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, my delicious little babies, can. And he totally just did not agree with none of this. Anyway, so what did they do? Throw the flipping book at himself. What a damn shame this is, my delicious babies. But of course, I'd talked about it on my videos as well, my delicious babies, okay? There was other uploaders, bless them, talking about this. They did the same in, there we are, Canada, because I remember that very well. And with the farmers, oh yeah, my delicious babies, okay? He's wicked and putrid, and it's wicked and putrid with poor Enoch Burke, bless him, in Ireland, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? I mean, this should not be allowed to happen, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, he cannot get any ka-ching out of his account. You know, so he puts his card in the machine and nothing's coming out, my delicious little babies. Do you know, I mean, this is appalling. But yes, and of course, you know, we go back to as well, you know, was it years ago that I heard on our lovely, you know, if you want to follow the geopolitical, our lovely Duran, you know what I mean, on YouTube, my delicious little babies. Yeah, that years ago it happened in Greece as well, my delicious little babies. You know what I mean? So one's, and some lost a lot. Ka-ching! They lost a lot of ka-ching. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. So, you know, so the thing is, why is this happening? And how should anybody be allowed to get away with such appalling acts, my delicious little babies? Do you see what I'm saying? This should not be allowed at all. You know, somebody's savings. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And please try and follow if you can, you know, because they're wanting one savings in the, you know, the, what is it, the EU? My delicious little babies, okay? So they're wanting ones, you know, populations, there we are, savings. There we are, extremely serious, my delicious little babies, okay? Oh, and I heard on, what was it as well? On, bless him, World Alternative Media, Josh, 145 banks in America have closed in 5 weeks. My delicious little babies, 145 banks, my delicious little babies. Well, of course, in our older England and where I live now, they were closing, there we are, banks left, right and centre, and then moving them like into somewhere else. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so it has been, do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. And really ones, there we are, need to really pay there we are, close attention to this, my delicious little babies, okay? Because let me tell you, you know, they're going to keep, there we are, throwing whatever they can at us, including the old, just a figure of speech, my delicious little babies, including the old kitchen sink. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? And you know me boiler, it's back to flipping that again, isn't it? It's sounding like a foghorn, you know, like on one of these ships. It's it's doing that, my delicious little babies. Okay, so we're back to that again now, okay? Anyway, so thank you so very much for listening, my beautiful little babies, and thank you so very much for any views or any likes and the occasional comments, okay? It's very much appreciated, and I'm so very thankful for it, okay? At least I know, like I say, there we are, blessed that somebody's listening to me, my delicious little babies, okay? So until my next video to you all, so very much love. You just please take care of yourselves now, and please try to take care of others as well, okay? Love ya. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.